Picture this. You walk into a job interview, and the first thing you do is grab a complete stranger's hand, skin to skin, squeeze it, pump it up and down, and let go. Nobody flinches. Nobody thinks it's weird. But here's what should bother you. That gesture started as a way to prove you weren't about to kill someone. Stick around, because the real story of how this became the world's most trusted greeting is stranger than you think. Think about how bizarre this actually is. We don't do this with any other body part. We don't bump elbows when we close a deal. We don't touch foreheads at a networking event. But hands? Hands we offer freely, to strangers, to CEOs, to in-laws we've never met. Americans shake hands roughly 15,000 times in a lifetime. It's baked into everything: business deals, political debates, first dates, and yet most people have zero idea why we do it. So where did it come from? The oldest theory goes back thousands of years, and it's surprisingly dark. In the ancient world, approaching a stranger was dangerous. You didn't know if the person walking toward you was a traitor or a threat. So extending your open right hand, your weapon hand, became a way of saying, "Look, I'm not holding a sword. I'm not hiding a blade." The grip itself? That wasn't just politeness. Historians believe the up and down shaking motion was designed to dislodge any weapon concealed in a sleeve. You were literally frisking each other. This wasn't a greeting, it was a security check. And it worked well enough that entire civilizations adopted it. But here's where it gets interesting. The Greeks took this survival gesture and turned it into something bigger. In ancient Greece, the handshake, called dexiosis, became a way to seal agreements. You can see it carved into stone reliefs dating back to the 5th century BC. Two figures gripping hands, eyes locked. It meant, this deal is binding. The Romans ran with it too. When two Roman soldiers met on the road, they'd clasp forearms, partly to check for hidden daggers, partly to signal mutual respect. Roman coins from around 100 BC actually show two clasped hands as a symbol of trust and alliance. So by this point, the handshake had evolved from "I won't kill you" to "I give you my word." That's a massive leap, from survival to social contract. Now, you might be wondering, how did it go from ancient battlefields to American boardrooms? This is the part most people don't know. For centuries after Rome fell, the handshake mostly disappeared from polite society. In medieval Europe, the standard greeting among the upper class was the bow or the curtsy. You didn't touch, you performed. The handshake survived, but it was considered common, a gesture used by merchants, tradesmen, and the lower class. If you were royalty or aristocracy, you absolutely did not shake hands. It was beneath you. Then came the Quakers. In 17th century England, the religious society of Friends, the Quakers, refused to bow. Bowing implied that one person was above another, and Quakers believed in radical equality, so they shook hands instead. Everyone got the same greeting. No hierarchy, no performance. When Quakers migrated to colonial America in huge numbers, they brought the handshake with them, and it fit perfectly. Here's the twist that reframes everything. The handshake wasn't always a sign of respect. For most of recorded history, it was the opposite, a mark of low status. Elites bowed, commoners shook hands. If you extended your hand to a nobleman in 1600s England, it would have been an insult. But America changed the equation. A brand new country with no monarchy, no inherited titles, no aristocracy. The bow felt wrong. It felt un-American. And the handshake, this egalitarian, no-nonsense gesture, became the default. By the 1800s, European visitors to the US were shocked by how much Americans shook hands. Everybody did it. Politicians, farmers, business owners, strangers on the street. It became the signature American greeting, and eventually, the rest of the Western world followed. Now here's where it gets relevant to right now. COVID nearly killed the handshake. In 2020, the fist bump, the elbow tap, the awkward wave, all of them surged. Dr. Fauci publicly suggested Americans might never shake hands again. But here's what actually happened. A 2023 survey found that over 80% of American professionals had returned to handshaking in business settings. The gesture survived a global pandemic. Why? Researchers at the Weizmann Institute of Science discovered that people unconsciously sniff their hands after a handshake. We're subconsciously gathering chemical information about the other person. The handshake may be doing more than we consciously realize. It's not just cultural habit. There might be biology underneath it. Here's the one-line version of everything you just learned. The next time you extend your hand to a stranger, you're performing a peace ritual over 2,500 years old, originally designed to prove you had nothing to hide. It went from a weapon check to a business deal to a statement of equality. And somehow, it survived every attempt to replace it, including a global pandemic. If you found this one interesting, subscribe. We do this for a lot of things you thought you understood. See you in the next one.